In this episode of our Transport Fever 2 Road to 1 Billion Road Only Challenge, we have new vehicles to play with. In the last episode, we were blessed with the Opel Blitz truck, which has a top speed of 37 mile an hour and a capacity of up to 14, depending on the vehicle type that we're using. So in this episode, we're going to go through another slew of upgrading our vehicles to the new type, so that we can get that 37 mile an hour and potentially reduce the number of vehicles that we have, because the number of vehicles does really start to clog up some of the junctions that we have here, and we do sometimes have a problem. So we'll demonstrate that with our steel factory out near Barrow in Furness here, where we perfectly balanced it with the old type vehicle that we still have running on our line, with a man in a top hat loving life, with a maximum speed of 12 mile an hour, but that does slow everybody else down. So at the moment that line has got a rate of 407, and that's the maximum amount that this ore mine can produce. So if we change the vehicles to the new type, and we can use here the dump truck version of it, we will have, I'm sure, absolutely 1,041 capacity on here with just 25 vehicles. So we can at least take probably 12 of these off, 13 let's do, and that gets us to a rate of 544. Take a couple more and probably one more gets us to 408. So we've got a lot fewer vehicles on there, down to just 9 from 25 on that line, but we are doing the same amount of deliveries, so hopefully that's still profitable with those, but we're making the deliveries a lot more often. We also have the coal line, which is roughly similar. We've got same sort of vehicles on here. We can change them to black, and they've got a rate of we've got 40 vehicles on this line to get there. So again, if we let's just take half of them off first, so we'll go down to 20 vehicles. I really wish there was a quicker way of doing this than sort of selecting individually, but we'll take half of them out and replace them all with the newer type. And see, we've got a rate of 555 with those, so we can go down to 18, a little bit more, 445. Let's take another one, 417. So that still should be able to transport the full load there. And we've been able to reduce our vehicles from 40 to 15 on that line. And these we have not painted, and I'm a big fan of painting, as you probably figured out now if you've been watching this series. I love painting the vehicles. Look at that bright orange, sunshine orange, coming in to drop those out. So that's those two lines. And then in terms of this Barrow and Furness distribution has got 2 old vehicles as well. Quite a lot sat on there. Barrow and Furness is trying to get about, let's say, 100 from there, so we could definitely do with changing these. We'll use the tarpaulin truck so we can transport everything that we need to, and that gets us 38 with just those 2. If we increase that to 5 vehicles, we're going to get close to that 100, so we'll see how that goes for that line. We also have, so from there we have our Barrow and Furness goods line, which is taking our steel out into this main depot over here, and that has a rate of 324, which is probably, I mean, what's that transporting? 280 has been the maximum in a year, probably averaging about 250. So probably got too many vehicles on there. So we've got 42. We'll get rid of 5, sell those, and then we'll replace them with the all-purpose type vehicle. Now we've got 488, so again we only really wanted about 250, I think. So get rid of 7 of those to get us down to 30. Yeah, still a few more. 329, we'll go 2 more. That's got us at 303. I think that's probably enough. Make them all lovely pink and send them on their way. So that's those lines. So we've got ore line sorted, coal line, town distribution, and the coal line as well. So that looks like a more balanced line. This steel mill, in terms of consumers, we're still losing stuff out here. Our machines factory over here is needs planks really to produce what we need it to do. And what kind of vehicles are transporting that? So we've still got the old type vehicle doing the Market Bosworth steel, and I think that's taking steel and planks out to this factory here. Got a rate of 64. We need to be able to make 100 here. We need to be able to take in 200 because we need one of each type. So we can sort that one out. Let's select it, manage the vehicles, and again we're taking planks. And so with this type we don't have the flatbed type, we have the dump truck and the tarpaulin, so we can go with the all-purpose type. I guess it's a 64, and we can change these to the grey colour that the line is, and we can clone all of those, which is going to 304. Okay, gone overboard. Let's knock 4 of these off, gets to a nice round 10. 217, that's about what we want. So hopefully that's going to produce the amount of steel that we want. Where are we looking like over here? So the Market Bosworth town goods line, 28 there. We're trying to supply to Market Bosworth, quite a lot actually. Again, that's probably adding up to about 100 in terms of goods and construction materials. So there's a fair old bit there, and we've only got a rate of 28. So if we change that again to the new type, it's going to get us to 68. We'll add another one on here. Gets it to 90. I think that's going to do a much better job on there, and we can change these. I mean, they're already roughly the right colour actually. Already roughly the right colour. Yeah. So, oh, I've just changed the one. So we'll, I've selected one. So let's change them all to that colour. There we go. So that's looking better. I mean, I don't really like the road setup we've got coming in here, and I think maybe this could be corrected. If we had this road coming down the side here, those two, as a kind of slipway, and then we have a fork coming out there and a fork coming out there, I think that would work out better, and it could come out this way as well. So let's pause the game there and sort out this, because I don't like how this all looks at the moment. Oh, I've left a vehicle in. I've done it again. Let's connect that in and then delete from this end. Move that back, move you out of the way. So that should allow me to connect into here. Just going to drop this back a little bit there, and then we should be able to curve through here past the depot, and then maybe we just come in here like so and delete this little tail that we've got there. So that looks a lot neater, and then we can take this out from here onto there with an upgrade of this road. And we got this road coming out here, connect that back in. So that's looking a lot better. We'll get rid of this little tail, and then this comes out there. So we got this set up with a waypoint, so I think we'll get rid of the waypoint because I don't think that's really helping matters at the moment. And we can just upgrade this little road here, so it's all the same type coming along. And that's coming into Market Bosworth on this nice little road here. I don't mind that. I think that looks a lot better. A lot better than what we had before. So we've now got this bypass for anything that is using that. Any of the other lines, like this Barrow furnace, it's having to use the waypoints. I should just delete the waypoints, to be honest. And that will stop any weird, silly routing that we have there. We've got a couple here as well, so we'll just delete those. just to make sure everyone's just using the most efficient route. And that works out okay, I think. I don't know if anybody is using this little line here, so we'll probably get rid of that as well. Is anybody using this? Okay, there are some vehicles. What's this green line? Ah, so that's interesting. So this Market Bosworth line here, and I need to turn on all my icons again, is stopping here and then coming out there. So that is one where maybe we need to sort out this little junction here so it's not looking as weird. So we can bring this back a bit and connect those in like so. Upgrade this little section here, and then that's going to turn right into there, which I'm okay with. And then we can reconnect this little cross here, and they're using that to go through there. Having to do this weird right turn here, so I might bring in that connection there, which I think works out a bit better. And that's looking nicer. So they're coming up here and then turning right and then going over there. So I don't know, maybe we just hit that straight. Do we do that? Is that better? I think I prefer that. So we'll let that play out. And then all the other lines are using this in and out. Nothing's actually using this bypass here. Yeah, it's maybe just a future thing or a bit of prettiness that we have going on. So we'll go back to our old friend in Chertsey. How's Chertsey doing? Chertsey's looking a lot better. It's actually at its maximum size. In the game so far, we have Chertsey goods line with a fair bit waiting to go back on there. Chertsey town distribution is eating up most of what's there. We could potentially replace those with a new type vehicle as well and give them the mustard yellow colour to take into town. Interestingly, we may not have full coverage now because Chertsey is getting so big. There are some other places around town that may need to be connected in the future, so that is something we need to be aware of, that we may need to have another stop sometime soon. Chertsey Grain 1 line goes from number 1 out here, comes down to here, that's fine. So there's grain farm to the food processing, and it then goes up here to drop off the food. So yeah, we'll add back in this waypoint just purely because it avoids using the main artery through the town to get there. So we'll sacrifice a little bit of efficiency to keep that in place. And 206 is the current line rate, but we could probably reduce the number of vehicles we have here if we replace these with a type that can do this. So this can do grain, but we are also moving food, so it's got to be the lower capacity type vehicle. We'll make them orange. We've now got a rate of 460, so that is too much. We're only producing 100 here from there, and taking 200 grain from there, so that's way too many on that line. So we can halve the number of vehicles at least. Let's take 13 off initially, and we'll take a few more, and we'll get it down to 15. Give us a rate of 209, so a lot fewer vehicles doing that. We've also got this Chertsey Grain 2 line, which has got a rate of 100. Now this is only shipping 100, so that makes a lot of sense. To do that, we've got 25 vehicles on here, so we're only moving grain on this one, so we can actually use the flatbed truck for this, which is going to give us a rate of 199. So I'll get rid of 12 of these, approximately half the number of vehicles that we've got, and we can change these to a light grain colour, reduce the number of vehicles on there. So that should make sure that happens. So in terms of what we're doing here, we are producing the full amount. We're still trying to supply from Frodsham, which is odd. but we have pretty much 100 coming from Chertsey and Chertsey Farm too. Consumer wise, we're Barrow Furnace and Ongar still at 0%. So if we look at Chertsey Good, that is a line that is struggling to keep up. So what's it trying to ship? It's trying to ship in that direction. We've got a log for some reason, and some bread and some planks. So where are the planks then? So the planks are coming from here. And we said about potentially bringing that out and into the main central depot rather than coming down into here. So if we just supply with the Chertsey Town goods in that direction, we've got a rate of 207. And if we change those vehicles to the newer type, we're going to get a rate of 355. I mean, that is going to eat through there. We've probably got not a problem coming it down there. The Chertsey goods line, did we just say that it shouldn't? What's it got here filter wise? It's not picking up grain. We didn't say anything about logs. I didn't really want logs to be coming out from there, but I think we solved that issue before. So in terms of consumers, it's going to, there's lots of, yeah, well, the planks are coming down here and then they're going into the wider network. That's absolutely fine. It's trying to ship 200. We've got 200 there, plus 100 grain being produced. So we should have, with the capacity we now have on that line, enough to get rid of the overloading we have at that station there. So that's not a problem. Wolverton planks, we've got a rate of 294. We're producing 200. We've not yet leveled up because we've not shifted the planks. So we can probably reduce the number on here. That is just going from here, taking the planks down here from there, so we can manage those vehicles and replace them. Just doing planks, so we do need the slightly higher capacity vehicle, the lower capacity I should say, to replace all of those. And again, we only need 200, so we can probably halve the number of vehicles on here. So I'll take off 13 initially, sell those, 267, and get that down to a nice round 15 for a rate of 200 bang on. So we should still be able to transport the full amount into the cargo hub here up to our Chertsey Town goods line. So at this end of the Chertsey goods line, we don't have anything waiting, so that's a good sign. That is a good sign, and hopefully now we're starting to distribute through, we'll get this factory leveled up. In terms of what's trying to be supplied to Chertsey, we are trying to get how have we got 0% from there? That is outrageous. Where is that going? 0% food from there. That cannot be right. That just cannot be right. Chertsey Town distribution. It's got a rate of 217. I mean, it should eat through everything that's on there. I can't understand why anything would be going anywhere else. Oh no, that's 100%. Okay. So what is 0%? Stockton-on-Tees, Jarrow. There's quite a few here which are being shipped from elsewhere, and we've still got a problem of trying to get it through the network. 100 should be able to go all the way out here, and then we shouldn't have too much of an issue. We do have a lot trying to go on the Keynsham goods line. Wow. What are we trying to ship down the Keynsham goods line? A lot of logs trying to go there, which I think are coming from here. So that's trying to go down to Swanscombe via the Keynsham goods line. So that's 400 on its own. So the Keynsham goods is going to struggle to keep up unless it is doing that. So we can replace these with... now, I wonder, because we're trying to ship 400. We're trying to ship 400 on here. What are we transporting on the Keynsham goods line? We're trying to ship tools, construction materials, stone and logs. Now if I replace these with the Ah, see, that can't do logs. It's going to have to be this one. So we'll just go to the Keynsham goods line. 343 with a new type. Vehicles need to be kind of green colour. So that gives us 343, but we're trying to ship 400 out that way to this Swanscombe line here. So, and that's just that. So we've also got stone and tools that wants to go that way. So we're going to need to go to, I'm going to say 450 there. So I'm going to put another, I'll put on another 10 vehicles onto this line. That gets us to 454. I'm hoping that that is enough to get us through what we need from there. Taking it down to Keynsham, which has this little depot here. And we've got plenty wanting to go back on there as well. Keynsham Tools is a line that's taking logs in here. Now we're wanting to take 400 logs to this planks factory here, which we need to manage so that it can use both platforms at this station. 400 logs are trying to come here, which will then take 200 planks to here and produce a whole bunch of tools. So that line definitely needs some more vehicles on there. So logs, tools, planks, we're going to need the tarpaulin type, which is going to get us to 92 with 8 vehicles. We can replace that, and we'll probably replace all of them again. 367 is going to get us somewhere close to the full delivery of logs coming from there. We could do with using multiple platforms here as well, wherever we can. We've got a lot of vehicles on here now. Maybe we get this up to the full amount. So we're at 32. If we add another 3, get to 35. Oh, we've dropped to 332 again. Now we'll let that play out a bit. Maybe we'll get above the 400. We've also very, very full on the Keynsham goods line, but we've just upgraded that. Keynsham Tools, Swanscombe Bricks. Swanscombe Bricks is an interesting one because I don't know if we properly balanced that when we started to do this. So it's currently producing 64. It's got suppliers coming from all the way from Market Bosworth. We can supply 400. I don't know that we want really that to be happening. So I'm going to manage this line. And did we stop stone coming? Yeah, we did. So why have we still got... Why have we still got that coming in? We've got non-transported. We really need to stop that from happening. So have we got stone waiting here? No. I think we'll confidently try and sever this. I don't want you to load any stone here. So we said we don't load, but actually we don't want to unload stone when we get back here. So that's probably why that is not worked. Did it the wrong way around. So we can take, so when we get to here we want to pick up bricks, and we're not going to unload anything. We're just going to pick up bricks, and when we go this way or to Upper Keynsham we're going to unload bricks, and we're not going to load anything. So that's going to keep that nice and clean, and hopefully mean that the supplies from here, there we go, start to be this line here. Swanscombe stone, a rate of 143 with the really old type vehicles. We're just using, this is just a stone line, so we can replace with the newer type, make them grey. We've now got a rate of 401, so I'm just going to delete everything but 5. That's 125, so that's more than enough. In fact, one more will probably get us bang on what we need to be with that. Slight kink in the road here, which we can get rid of, will make a difference, I think, to the rate, maybe just keep us over the 100 mark. We've got another kink here, which we can just pause and remove. And upgrade some of this road coming out here. So that, hopefully, that's got, it says 99 at the moment, but I think that'll climb up because we've got a vehicle that's absolutely lost going over there. And we'll just upgrade some roads, why not? So that's 99, so that should get the full amount from here. Obviously this can increase, and it will increase, it will start shipping more now that we've severed off that there. So we're producing on the Swanscombe brick line. We should be producing near enough 100 soon. And the shipment demand will probably be there. So let's manage these. Now we're taking bricks on this line. Bricks have to go in this one. Change those to red. I guess it's a 78. Add a couple more on here. 94, just the one more will get us to 100. And lovely jubbly, we have that bricks line working nicely. So that is good, that is good. One area where also we could do with balancing is up here. We have loads of vehicles using this area here, and we did upgrade a lot of this before. So let's make sure this is all nicely balanced, because it has become a bit chaotic around here. High Wycombe, it has been growing and absorbing quite a lot of the town that we have. So we've got loads of vehicles waiting here to come in, and again I think the traffic lights are the main culprit here. So the High Wycombe oil line, it can transport 400 of the oil here, but we've dropped to 218, I think primarily because of this massive traffic jam here, and because of the proximity of the depot I can't get rid of the traffic lights there. So that is a problem. So they're going there, they're dropping there, they're dropping there. Okay. So what we might have to do here is pause this and delete this here. So they're going to come here, drop there, and then come out that way. I think that's what we'll do. So we'll get rid of the High Wycombe halt for a moment. We're going to put down our cargo depot, which I'm going to put 3 platforms on the right over here, and then I'm going to add in a one-way exit from here. And I've not had good history with one-ways entrances and exits, but here we go. And we'll put in an exit road that comes out to here, and an entrance that comes from here. It's connected in there. If we look at the High Wycombe oil line, so I think that works out nicely. I mean, to be honest, it would be no, they're not crossing each other's path, so that's nice. And then I have the option here to get rid of these traffic lights now, which are the main culprit. I want to make sure that we can use all the platforms as well. And then looking at the High Wycombe annex line, it's got the old ones, it's got the old vehicles, which we should sort out really, bringing that oil. But they are coming that way, and then they're going through the town, which is not ideal. So we might need a little route that goes straight from here, and potentially a one-way route out to there. And then we'll just upgrade this area around here. So that makes for a nice loop there, and hopefully that does the job that we need. So we need this to play out a bit, because I think our rates here are messed up by all the traffic that we have. So we need to let all these vehicles out. Off they go. Let's going to take some time for these to all come through, I think. But at least they can queue within here as well. So in the meantime, let's change these to... So we're oil, so we can use the oil tankers now. We'll have a nice pink colour on those. So that's got a rate of 1400. Oh, wow. So we'll just... We'll come to do this backwards. We'll get rid of all but 19 vehicles. We'll get rid of 50. And see where that lands us in terms of the rate. 398. That was a good guess. That was a good guess. Just down to the 19 vehicles on here now. We've also got this line, which has got a rate of 443 at the moment. If we replace this with the tanker wagons, we change them to the tanker, the right colour. There's not really a teal in here. We've now got a rate of 1100. So again, we're probably in the realms of getting rid of all but, let's say, 20. So we'll get rid of 45. Sell those, and that takes our rate to 358. I think we're quite close there. We do want to be the full way, so we can add a couple more potentially on here. 390. Let's add one more. So now we've got a lot fewer vehicles on there. It's going to make traffic a lot easier anyway. We've got a better layout, I feel, with the way these vehicles are set up. They're higher capacity, much higher speed, and they hopefully are going to be able to supply this with... So this can be supplied with 300 now. We are producing nearly 400. So that means it's got a demand of 800 from there, which is, you know, everything from here. So yeah, I think that's going to work out pretty well. We should be getting close to level 3, potentially, with this. Up to the 4... We're in level 3 now, but hopefully we'll get up to level 4. And this will level up with the way we've got this laid out. On guard goods is a line that's doing okay. We are trying to supply it with about, what's that, 50, 60, let's call that 80 together on there. But while our current line here has a rate of 31. So we'll first of all change that to the new type vehicle. Gets us to 53, and if we add 2 more, I'll go with 1 more. Again, that should be able to clear out everything we've got going on there for OnGuard, which is looking a bit heavy on there. So traffic-wise, this is flowing nicely now. 478, yeah, we've probably got a little bit too much here. Now that everything's flowing. Probably get rid of a couple more vehicles. This gets to around 20. That's going to take 400 in the oil line again. Now that everything's cleared, probably got a few too many vehicles on there as well. So 439, 408. Hopefully that does the trick and keeps this refinery here in business. So in terms of suppliers, we're trying to supply from Barrow over here as well, which is going into that central place. That is leveled up as well, so that is good. This line here, wow, we're transporting everything. Barrow crude, 377. We can manage these vehicles and replace them for sure with the new type. It's going to almost double what we have, so let's get rid of these. Some of these. Down to 20 vehicles. A bit over the rate that we want. Ah, we've overdone it. 16, let's add 2 back in. 412, there we go. That's about what we want for that line. There was another oil well over here, wasn't there? West Crude. It's only got 167 on there. I don't know if that's because of the traffic maybe going through the town here. Doesn't seem to be too big an issue, but we've got 20 vehicles on there. We can change those for the tanker type. It's going to get us to 334, which is much closer to what we need. And they're going at 37 mile an hour, which is lovely. We need a handful more to get right up to the 400 from there. That being said, yeah, we are trying to ship the 400. So we're at 400 now. That was nicely done. And we're at 416 for there. So we should get the full 800 to here. Which means that we're trying to ship only 166. So in terms of what's leaving here, yeah, we're not quite doing the full amount in terms of transported. So 166 is what's being demanded at the moment. We have a rate on our outbound line of 112, so we could probably just replace those with the tank cars. And we've got 224 now, so way and above. It gives us some room to grow for that refinery. Yeah, so that depot is looking good. Down here, Harworth and Bircotes, 539 now. So this town is definitely on the up. Look at it, skyrocketing. We're getting loads of material in here now, and there's nothing really waiting on there. 490 on the Harworth goods line is probably too much. Probably too much. I mean, Harworth, in terms of suppliers, it's it's probably only 300 really needs to be coming in. So we can potentially change that. I mean, how much have we delivered so far? Only about 150. Yeah, we've got absolutely too many on here. So we can take about 20 off. Bearing in mind, we're going to change these for the new vehicles. So we'll take half of those out of the picture, and then we'll replace those with the new type vehicle. It's not changed the rate yet. I'm not really sure why that is. What other lines are using this area here? We've got some slow vehicles on there. The passenger vehicles may well be slowing us down. So it's just so they are using the outside lane, so they're not actually conflicting with these slow vehicles as they come through. We have this Harworth stone line, actually, I've just noticed, where we have, oh wow, it's got a demand of 300, and what are we doing from here? 162. So this is absolutely a line we can upgrade with the dump truck style. Going to get us to 452, so probably too many on there. We'll drop them down a handful, probably two more. Should keep us just above 100, and we can colour them grey. So hopefully that keeps this in business. Coming out from here, we're trying to ship 162 on our Stockton bricks line, which probably could be made a bit more efficient with the type of road that it is. We have on here, these are the new type vehicles? Not quite. We're trying to ship bricks, which would need the tarpaulin type. Going to get us to 205. I think that's going to be plenty, and then we could probably upgrade this road here to be a better type. So I think we can come out here. I think it's this little fork here we want to sort out, because that is causing us an issue. In fact, we'll go a little bit further back. We've got a little kink there. Bring that in, nice. And then have the trunk roads connected in again. And then we've got quite a wiggle and quite a squiggle out here. So what I'll do is we'll just disconnect this section and this section here. We'll reconnect those in a moment, but what we'll do is we'll upgrade to here. We'll sweep this up, bypassing what's currently there. And allow that to come into there. And then we can reconnect in these roads here. Like so. Should give us a slightly better rate on those lines as those vehicles find their way in. So 205 is what we can do if the demand is there, which I'm sure it will come. Just trying to ship all the way to Ongar. Harworth and Bircotes is not supplied. It does demand bricks, but is not supplied. I mean, let's have a look. Suppliers, consumers. Harworth and Bircotes is there, but the only way they're getting there is through there. So there's potential for what you're trying to ship to Harworth and Bircotes, 45 for a new line to come through there. We'll just buy the one truck for the bricks at the moment. We'll come into our little depot here. And this is going to be our F Harworth Town bricks. And we'll see what rate we get from that. We've just got the one vehicle at the moment whizzing along here, which is in the wrong colour. And it's got a rate of 17, so I probably need 3 of those to get to the 45, 50 there. So that's going to mean that those town bricks are going to go that way, utilising this lovely tunnel we made, which we can upgrade now actually. So I think we'll put the tunnel to a nice 4-lane butte out here. It's not going to let me do it. Why, oh why? I think it might be this end, but it's not going to let me do it before. Yeah, that will let me do that. And then I can bring this to there. I think that works out quite well. And then we've got this road here to upgrade. Probably just I'll tell you, we'll do the 4-line to there. And then we'll do the 2-line from here. And to be honest, again, it's another wiggly squiggly line, which we will correct all the way back to there. Get a nice clean, see it already sweeps around the contour quite nicely like that. So we'll just bring that out to here. Much better, much smoother. And allow those to come in there. So yeah, we've got this nice 4-lane tunnel through there. Splits off here into town and off elsewhere. Rate of 51. Looking good. Do we have any old vehicles anywhere left on our line? And by old, I mean like really old. So we've got any of the little top hat man lines. So if I go to just look at ones I can see, let's have a look. Do we have any little top hat mans? Don't think we do. Don't think we do. So that's good. No more top hat mans. No new passenger vehicles, which is a shame. I feel like we deserve something that's 37 mile an hour for passengers, but maybe that's for another episode. And you can see here a bit of a problem we have with these going at 25. So they're really, maybe we need to upgrade this road to a 4-lane to allow the traffic to overtake, especially where we've got passenger lines involved. It seems to be really important. The 4-lane road's going to allow overtaking. It won't let me do, it's going to let me do that section. Just this section here, which it doesn't like. So we'll sort that out with a little bit of a fudge here. And that's going to allow that to run. So it's going to allow vehicles to overtake on that passenger line, which is something probably should keep an eye on. Harworth Bircotes is slated to go down. Emissions is becoming a problem. Stockton Loop. Emissions is becoming a problem here. Yeah. Our loop line doesn't even connect into this station. I think I think we need to potentially get rid of that station and move them out to here. Get rid of King's Road. And that might do what we need to solve some of our traffic issues. And then we can just get rid of the station. Allow some building in the area. It does mean we have this straight down here. So what we might do here is we have a town road, but we can have a bus lane track here. So our buses are not going to get demolished. We've got loads of money here, so we can afford all these really expensive moving of vehicles. But this is going to allow a full bus lane all the way through here, so we don't get stuck in traffic as they come through that section there, and hopefully that does something for the emissions. In terms of overcrowding, we do have a problem on the Stockton Loop. Still got loads of people wanting to go through here. Via Kingsway. Now, where is Kingsway? Kingsway's there. Wants to go that way. There's only one person there, and here there's 25 people want to go to Church Road, which is that way. So I think a lot of them are wanting to go in that direction. We are doing... Maybe we need to have more of these vehicles on. So we just duplicate them all again. Get some more vehicles on, reduce the overcrowding at the stations, and hopefully allow Stockton-on-Tees to continue to grow and blossom. Loving the bus lane, actually. I think that's looking rather good straight through town. And our... Oh, it's getting quite busy here. I don't know why it's red so much there. Surely you can come out now. Just get rid of those traffic lights because they're slowing everybody down. So a lot of vehicles trying to use this first platform. Have we... Oh, they're not even using all the platforms, which is utterly ridiculous. No wonder we've got so much traffic here. 6 platforms, nobody's using them. So that's a mistake for sure here. That's going to make a difference. There's only 3 lines on there, so... And they're all using the same platform as well, to make matters worse. So that is going to make a small difference, I think, to the traffic flow here. It's already started to work. And we've got the buses coming out, ready to go. A new build at Stockton-on-Tees, so it is growing again. There we go. There we go. It's getting a decent amount of construction materials through. Still no bread. Absolutely no bread. Is anybody trying to supply bread here? Chertsey, and well, 90% of it is coming. And there's 2 from Frodsham. Ah, this is not a food processing plant we've really looked at in a long, long time. So we have here, interestingly, we have a grain farm here, which can supply 200, as you'd expect. And that's just a simple straight line down there. We've got really old vehicles on here. I thought we got rid of them all, to be honest. replace those for the new type. That immediately gets us up to 194. I think with a little bit more of an efficient route, we could probably solve that. Go back to our country roads and just curve this. Oh, we've got bus lanes on. We don't want bus lanes. Curve that out to there and then bring that in here and upgrade the remainder of the road. Go straight in there like that. And then we can reconnect in these sections here like so. Get that playing again. Maybe slightly faster. 194 is probably going to be what we need. Supplies really is only coming from there, so that's going to be able to make 100. So how is the bread getting out from here? So we've got the Frodsham goods line, which is not connected, so they're going straight through Frodsham. We can probably put on. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is coming all the way from Barrow Furnace, all the way through Barrow Furnace, in fact. I mean, this is a long old line coming from Market Bosworth. Coming off here. Potentially need to upgrade this road as it weaves its way. So I think what we need is we need a bypass around Barrow Furnace. We can cut off there and we can come into here. So we'll start at Frodsham. We'll use this as our starting point. I think this is a good starting point. We'll just sever this little bit of road here. We'll bring that back in a second. And we'll start to wend our way out to the Barrow Furnace. So we can go... Long old tunnel here, which is a bit surprising. Let's bring that out to the outside of the town and around. Go straight across here. And through here. We need to get... I'm going to go around there, so we're going to have to wend a little bit to the right of here. So we'll come back a bit, get rid of this little street out there, and we'll go out this... oh no. We'll go out this way, across here, around the right-hand side of the steel mill. A nice little tunnel. Oh, it's an underground tunnel. Look at that. Underground crossover in the tunnel. Not had that before. And then we can just curve to here. And then what we'll do is we'll just break this for a moment into there. And off we go. We can change this now, I think, down to a 2-lane road. I think that makes a lot more sense. And bring it in to there. So that's going to make for a much better line into Frodsham, taking the grain from there with a rate of 30 at the moment, our Frodsham goods line, which is a slight blue colour, and then we will replace this for the new 37 mile/hour vehicle, gets up to 41, replace all those, and we should get to 100 being able to be delivered from here. Now we have grain going on the Frodsham goods line. I don't want that to be happening. So I'm going to say at the Frodsham Halt, I use both lines. At Frodsham Halt, don't pick up grain because I don't want you to do that. That is silly. So we can supply grain from there. Now we will need more grain here eventually when this levels up, but we'll hopefully start to get that transported more quickly from Frodsham, which has a lot going for it at the moment. Frodsham distribution, manage the line, use both platforms, and we're going to change this for new vehicles as well. And we've got 3 on here, so we might configure this to add another cargo platform. And in fact, we'll put these all on the same side. And then we'll make sure they're all on their own. And then we'll make sure they can use all the platforms that we have here. So that's all set up. They can use all 3 platforms as they come in and out here. And we've got a nice quick highway out to Frodsham, which is good for the people of Frodsham. Now, Frodsham has a Barrow to intercity here, which is going through the town to get out. So we could do with a connection straight out here. So I think what we'll do is we'll just get rid of this pointless road here and build in a connection from there. Just going to make for a faster route into town. And yeah, that's looking good. Got 63 people waiting on there to go on that line. So we could do with... Oh, we've got a new vehicle, new passenger vehicle. Okay. So it's got a top speed of 31 and a capacity of 10. So not the highest capacity vehicle in there, but it has a higher capacity than the Gaggenau and is 6 miles an hour faster. So let's replace that with that one. And I bet they go... Oh, I bet they go good pink. I bet they go good pink. Look at them. Look at that. So that is good. This is a new era for our passenger lines. We've got a proper coach looking coach, really. Yeah. So Frodsham to Barrow, which is the first line to have the new passenger vehicle. Yeah, I'm liking that. So 31 mile an hour is pretty rapid for that. Let's have a look at that in more detail. So that is the Sora Tusha. So city bus. Bod Peabody construction by Tusha. 109 horsepower. Is that the highest we've got? So way and above the highest horsepower vehicle for passengers. So yeah, absolutely the one we want. So yeah, I think that's the last thing we do in this episode. What we'll do is we'll change our intercity lines to the new higher speed vehicle. So if we have a look at our lines, and we'll go with our passenger lines by sorting the first letter, and you can see our Stockton and Bircotes is full, so that's a line that we can replace for the new. Get a nice smart dark blue. So yeah, increase the capacity by 8, which should help matters. Market Bosworth Loop, probably not, nobody on there. Where else is full? Keynsham to Swanscombe is a line that is full, so we can definitely replace that. And these actually have a lower emission, so they might even be better for intercity lines as well. So that's something else to bear in mind. Any other full passenger lines? We've got this High Wycombe to Ongar is currently full, so we can change those. And what else do we have? It's Harworth Bircotes to Jarrow. Now that's interesting. We're just the one vehicle on there, and they're coming in this way. I feel like we might need another bridge over here. Would make that line more efficient if we have a bridge that comes over here like so. We'll just raise that up. It's not giving me any real option. Yeah, I think that looks better. Too much slope, apparently. Let's go out to the middle and see if we can't bring this in now. Nice bridge over there. It's going to make a small difference, but there is quite a lot of people, quite a few people waiting here in Jarrow. So let's give it a proper bus stop to replace what we already have here. 5 buildings will be removed. Ah, that's probably too big. But okay. I'm sure Jarrow will recover over on that side. I should have checked what we were doing. And they're coming to Harworth and Bircotes to this platform here, surely? Yeah, they are. 44 people. Yeah, so we can replace this with the new swanky new vehicle, and we could probably duplicate this 3 or 4 times to get more passengers on that road with our new bridge. What else have we got? We've got this Stockton intercity, Harworth Stockton intercity, which is full, and there's plenty of vehicles on there. So replace those for the new type. There's a nice blue colour for those. What else have we got that's full? Harworth to High Wycombe. And we can paint these up nice green. Other full lines that we have. Chertsey to Keynsham, that is full. Yeah, that's okay. That's looking good. That's looking. See, this is full already. So let's just double these. Get more vehicles on that line. The other way we can do this is we can, of course, look at our station statistics and look at our overcrowding. So Berkhamsted South, for instance, here is overcrowded. Interesting. So that's got a rate, we're at 400 being shipped there to, where is that going? To the planks factory over here. We can manage these vehicles. Are they what type are they? It's a Benz truck, so we can change this for the new type, which is a capacity of 12 and a speed 37. That gives us 371. Another 2 vehicles on here. I am sure we'll get the full amount of logs delivered from here and solve that issue. So that's 1 station done. Chertsey sidings is another log one that's struggling. Trying to ship 400. It's not far off, to be honest. 292. We have got the Benz truck again, which we can replace. And then we're just over there, so we'll knock one of these off and get them a nice chocolate colour, and that should solve that issue there. We just got the 1 platform, so we might have to add another platform on here and allow them to use both when they come in. Back to stations again. After that, Church Road, which is a Harworth and Bircotes. So there's quite a lot of heavily used on this Harworth and Bircotes loop. So we can change this to the new vehicle, which has a lower emissions and a higher speed, and we can also probably, let's just double them. Get up to 8 vehicles doing the rounds around Harworth and Bircotes and see if that doesn't solve that issue. George Street in High Wycombe. So we've got a couple in High Wycombe here which are struggling. So again, we can change this over to the new type vehicle and double those. And hopefully that will get to the rate we need. Where else have we got an issue? Jarrow South. Okay, so we have a Jarrow ore line with a rate of 278, so not quite what we want from there. Now we can take the full 400, so we can manage these, replace them with the dumper truck as we're doing ore, and that's way over what we need, so we can probably knock off 5. Probably another 3. 409 is about where we want to be. We'll give it this burnt orange colour for there. How's the coal line doing that's doing the same job? Carnforth coal, yeah, that one needs sorting out as well. And we give this a nice, well, I'll give these a black colour because I feel like the line should be black. So let's change that. So that's 525 on there. So again, we're probably a handful of vehicles over what we need. So we can just knock a few off. That will do. And they're coming down this line, which I think again is another tunnel that we could do with upgrading. Not possible. So it's this section here which is not allowing me to do. I can do it. It'll allow me to do that section. It won't allow me to do here, so I need to just very briefly sort this out. To the steel mill there, and then we need to bring this road into there, and then we'll have this connect there instead. So now we've got a nice 2-lane route into the steel mill. So the steel mill here should be able to produce 200 soon. We've got a very short set of platforms here. So we'll move them all onto the same side. And we'll make sure they're all on their own terminal. And then we'll make sure they can all use all of the lines. Harworth transfer. Yeah. And Harworth steel. So the Harworth steel is the last one here to get right. So we should be able to do 400 there, which means 200 steel is going to be coming on this line, which has currently got a rate of 93. So delivering steel means tarpaulin trucks, which have a rate of 182 with that change. And then we'll just do the one to get that over there. That is taking the steel. Where's that taking the steel to? Harworth North, just to here. So that's 200 steel potentially coming in here. So loads of steel coming to this machines factory, which again has a platform we can sort out. So yes, that one is good. Machines wise, we're doing well. We're getting lots and lots of steel from the mill. But probably not so much. So this is interesting because I get 200 from steel from here, and I'm getting steel from elsewhere in the map. So the Harworth machines line, I don't want you to be picking up steel from there. Hopefully that will mean that the suppliers now starts to drop from the other line. So we should hopefully see that come down. Just keep an eye on that for a moment. Yeah, that's coming down now. So I want this Harworth steel mill to go up because I've got capacity for 200 now. We should be able to do that. I've got another case of the traffic light issue here. Yeah, the traffic lights just really cause a problem. See, they're all turning left, but the traffic lights have no filter in them. So we may have to move this station back a little bit just to allow the trucks to come in there, because that's going to cause a problem. So we'll just pause that. And we'll build a new one with 3 platforms on the left here. And then we can have our connection in there. Now that should allow me to get rid of the traffic lights by going on the traffic layer, clicking that off. So that's looking rather good. So I'm pretty pleased with the progress we made on this episode. We are 766 million, probably 2 more episodes from our target of $1 billion, but we are producing absolutely loads in the game at the moment. Our headquarters is now 33. We seem to have hit a wall at 33, but in terms of the population has been going high. Our balance is absolutely rocketing, although we are spending a lot, but we are getting close to that $1 billion, and we have no loan, of course. If you like this video, do give us a like and subscribe. I'll be doing more in this series, getting to $1 billion using only road vehicles. In the next episode, I think we're going to hopefully have better and faster vehicles, all upgraded to the next level. See you then.